Welcome to my channel Ivory Golden Revolution, the world of biology. Myself Sonali Soma Mukherjee in front of you. Today I have brought another video in front of you. The first video that I made was on the phylum Mollusca among the invertebrates, the outline classification, and today's video will be based on the largest phylum in animal kingdom, that is phylum Arthropoda. Arthropoda is the ever largest you can say the phylum in the invertebrates, and this phylum, the outline classification, if I make, it's going to be a huge one. Over 1 million species are present among us. Those are arthropodans, and these species are so much diverse. So basically what we have is few questions in our mind. How this diverse group of animals have been so related to each other? They are so much different from each other. How they have got some of the characteristics which are based on their shared characteristics, their evolutionary history, and how this phylum has been subdivided into subphyla and yet smaller groups, the classes, and how these have done. So it's a very basic question when we are studying phylum Hexapoda. Hexapoda, where you can include the insects and the stringtails. That means this subphylum has insects that can fly. They have this very important characteristic features. Their body is having head, thorax and abdomen, and from the thorax region only the wings are they have wings in their thorax region which helps them to fly. At the same time they have compound eyes, usually 3 in number, and they have simple eyes also, that is known as ocelli, O-C-E-L-L-I. They have ocelli also. So this is very important, I can think at this moment to remember in the Hexapoda subphyla, that they are the insects that can fly. They have head, thorax and abdomen. They have wings. They have antenna. A pair of antenna they have. In case of crustaceans, they had antenna 4 in number. In case of Hexapoda, they have antenna a pair, that means 2. In case of crustaceans, there were mandibles, jaw-like mandibles, very important. That's why they have been included under the mandibulata. The crustaceans have mandibles as their feeding appendages. In case of Hexapoda too, there is mandibles present, even other mouth parts are present for feeding mechanism. So some of the characteristics I have discussed. Before I go on to the next subphylum, that is Myriapoda, I must focus on this phylogenetic tree, the ancestral phylogenetic tree. Let me show you from this side. That is, Arthropoda is divided into 2 subphylum, will be 5, but this is Arthropoda's basic division under Arachnata and Mandibulata. Mandible havings will be under Mandibulata, and for Chelicerae, that is Chelicerata or Chelicerae, however you say, if they are under Arachnata. That means you are including in Chelicerata the arachnids. The arachnids are actually the spiders, the scorpions. They have 8 legs. That is what is striking. To remember a very complicated invertebrate is really hard, and it's very hard to memorize so many points. So I'm going to just help you out in this trick, how to remember, how to memorize it. That is, when you are thinking about the Chelicerata, spiders have Chelicerae as their feeding mechanism, appendages. They use Chelicerae, and they have pedipalps also. So this is coming under Chelicerata. So if it is under Chelicerata, we call it arachnids. Let me mention this name. Some of us are very used to this name. Arachnids come under it, that is the spiders. So it comes under Arthropodans, you get it under Arachnata and Mandibulata, mandible having, and Trilobita, which is extinct, and then Chelicerata, that is our arachnids, come under it. So this is how you basically divide it. Arachnata has got Trilobita and Chelicerata. So if you are Arachnida, so it comes under this only. So next part, Arthropoda's Mandibulata. If it is arachnid, it is Chelicerata. If it is Mandibulata, then what do you have? The crustaceans, Myriapoda and Insecta. Crustaceans, shelled animals, they have carapace on their abdomen which have got some other structures in it, making it Biranus. That's how to remember. Crustaceans are shelled animals. They are aquatic, they are marine, they are insects of the sea, and they have carapace. Then comes I have discussed with you already Hexapoda. So I will go on with the Myriapoda now. Myriapoda, where you include the millipedes and the centipedes. Look, the simple trick to remember Chilopoda, that is centipede. C for Chilopoda, C for centipede. That's how you can remember it. And for millipede, you can use this word Diplopoda. That is, in case of centipede, it's 100 feet. In case of millipede, it's 1000 feet. In case of centipedes, their predators had poison fangs also. The body is just like a worm. If you see from the cross-sectional side also, you will find the body is long, elongated form, and it has somewhat looking like worms, segmented like appearances there. And in case of Myriapoda, they are mostly found, not only millipedes, even centipedes, you will find in the moist and very humid areas, you will find them living, their habitat is. These arthropods, Myriapoda and Myriapoda, centipede and the centipedes, you can say 100 feet and the millipedes 1000 feet. That's how I remember it. For centipede, you can use this letter C for centipede and C for Chilopoda. So centipede comes under Chilopoda, millipede comes under Diplopoda. That's how you can remember it. I'm teaching you something which will help you to remember these tough things. And these are worm-like animals. They are having jointed appendages. They have their head and trunk region, and the whole body is elongated, worm-like. What else to remember in these animals? They mostly reside, means they live in moist, humid areas, and if they are aquatic, means they are landforms only. If they are aquatic, if any arthropod is aquatic, naturally there will be arrangement of gills, and if it is land, then it is trachea. The excretory organs for the arthropods is usually Malpighian tubules and the coxal glands. That's how the salient feature is helping you out in learning. And in these Myriapoda, help you out in this, that as far as the Myriapoda is concerned, they have a head region has got a pair of antenna also. They have simple eyes, ocelli, and they have compound eyes also. Then you can think about other structure. They have mandibles. Yes, as far as feeding structure is concerned, they are coming under mandibulata only. That means they have mandibles as their feeding structure. In case of, if I'm going to remember it from the earlier steps, when I was talking about Chelicerata, then also I mentioned some of the other structures like pedipalps. If it is not chelicary, then it is pedipalps present. Jaw-like mandibles are there. So in crustaceans, there were jaw-like mandibles. So in case of Myriapoda, mandibles are present as the feeding structures. Otherwise, some other very important characteristics that I have mentioned today in my video will help you to learn as far as the arthropods are concerned. If it is an arthropoda, the Malpighian tubule, excretory organ, and the coxal glands. Respiration, if it is on land, if it is a landform, then it is some gill mechanism will be there. And if it is a landform, not aquatic, then definitely it is going to be book lung or the trachea. This is how you can remember it, these points. And for crustaceans, having a carapace on their body, but do not confuse with the molluscans. In that case, there was a hard shell also that was covering the mantle region also. So do not get confused with the crustaceans and the molluscans. I am there to help you out in learning the invertebrates, and other biology topics will be coming up in my video. So please stay with me, support me, subscribe, like. This is my new channel I had started. If you want to get stuff more about invertebrate zoology, and of course vertebrates, human physiology, endocrinology and immunology, you need to support me, support my channel. Please be with me. Thank you.